General Hospital spoilers, Isaiah accuses Curtis of adultery. Portia and Curtis divorce shocker. Port Charles is about to be rocked to its core once again, and this time the heartbreak is coming straight for one of the most seemingly stable couples on the canvas. Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, and Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, have been fighting tooth and nail to keep their marriage intact after tragedy, betrayal, and a string of life-altering secrets. But just when it seemed like they had found some shaky common ground, a new player in town is about to detonate a truth bomb that will send everything crashing down. Yes, you read that right. Isaiah, newcomer to GH's ever-twisting canvas, is set to accuse Curtis of nothing less than adultery. The fallout? A Portia and Curtis divorce that promises to ripple across the canvas, pulling in multiple storylines, shocking longtime fans, and leaving their friends and enemies alike questioning everything. The Ashford household has been under strain for months. Curtis, still recovering from the paralysis he suffered in the Metro Court shooting, has been pouring himself into physical therapy while also trying to run the Savoy, keep the peace with Jordan Ashford, and be a supportive stepfather to Trina Robinson. Portia, meanwhile, has been juggling her demanding career at GH with the constant fear that Curtis might relapse into his old PI habits or emotional entanglements with Jordan. The two have tiptoed around their unspoken insecurities, but the trust between them has never fully healed from the Trina paternity secret Portia kept for nearly 2 decades. In recent weeks, things appeared to be stabilizing. Portia and Curtis shared quiet moments at home and even had an evening where laughter returned to their living room. But in true General Hospital fashion, those fleeting smiles were just the calm before the storm. Isaiah is a man with mystery written all over him. While much of Port Charles is still piecing together his past, viewers have been treated to tantalizing glimpses, whispered phone calls, shadowy meetings, and a knack for knowing exactly where to push when it comes to other people's vulnerabilities. His connection to Curtis has been hinted at since his first appearance. At the Savoy, the two exchanged a look that was too loaded to be casual. Later, Isaiah was seen slipping an envelope into his pocket after a tense conversation with a woman who muttered, "He doesn't even know you're here." Rumors around town have speculated everything from Isaiah being a former associate in Curtis's PI days, to an ex-friend turned enemy, to something even more explosive, but no one saw his next move coming. The drama erupts during a high-stakes fundraiser at the Metro Court, organized to benefit spinal cord research. The glittering event draws Port Charles's elite, Sonny Corinthos, Anna Devane, Jordan, and of course, Curtis and Portia. Trina arrives with Spencer on her arm, while Taggart keeps a watchful eye on the room. Curtis takes the stage to speak about resilience and gratitude, and just as the applause swells, Isaiah steps forward from the crowd, his voice slicing through the chatter like a knife. "Tell them, Curtis. Tell them how you've been lying to your wife about us." Gasps echo through the ballroom. Portia freezes, her eyes snapping to Curtis, who looks like the ground has just vanished under him. Isaiah doesn't stop there. "Or should I be the one to tell Portia you've been seeing another woman behind her back for months?" The room explodes in murmurs. Cameras flash. Olivia Falconeri tries to shush the crowd, but the damage is done. Portia's face goes pale, her lips parting in disbelief as she whispers, "Curtis, is it true?" Curtis, caught between defending himself and not giving Isaiah the satisfaction of a public fight, stammers, "It's not what you think." But Isaiah simply smirks and walks out, leaving chaos in his wake. The ride home is pure hell. Portia's voice is trembling with fury as she demands answers. Curtis insists that Isaiah is lying, twisting half-truths to make it seem like more than it is. But Portia, already scarred by past betrayals, isn't ready to take his word for it. "You told me no more secrets," she snaps, pacing their living room. "If there's even one grain of truth in what he said, Curtis, we're done." Curtis admits he's had contact with a woman from his past, a confidential informant tied to one of his old cases, but swears it was strictly professional. Unfortunately for him, Portia's mind immediately leaps to Jordan, and old insecurities flare. When Portia leaves to cool down, Curtis sinks into his chair, the weight of his past pressing down. He knows Isaiah's endgame isn't about romance, it's about control, and using Curtis's marriage as collateral damage. The next day, Isaiah corners Curtis at the Savoy before opening hours. The place is dark except for the glow of the bar lights, and Isaiah wastes no time getting to the point. "I've got proof, Ashford. Photos. Dates. And if Portia doesn't already have divorce papers in her hands, she will, unless you give me what I want." What he wants is still murky to viewers at first, but we soon learn it's tied to a case Curtis worked years ago involving a stolen shipment and a dead informant. Isaiah claims Curtis covered for someone powerful, and that cover-up is worth millions if sold to the right buyer. Instead of confronting Isaiah for herself, Portia does what many fans thought they'd never see. She packs a bag and moves out. Trina watches her mother's heartbreak with barely contained anger, blaming Isaiah but also questioning why Curtis didn't shut this down before it started. In one of the most emotional mother-daughter scenes in months, Portia admits to Trina, "I promised myself I would never again stay in a marriage where I couldn't trust the man beside me. Your father, Curtis, that doesn't matter. I deserve honesty." Trina, torn between loyalty to her stepfather and wanting to protect her mother, vows to dig into Isaiah's past. Little does she know, her investigation will put her squarely in Isaiah's crosshairs. 2 weeks later, Curtis opens his front door to find a courier standing there with an envelope. Inside, divorce papers. No note. No warning. Just cold, legal finality. The camera lingers on Curtis's trembling hands, his eyes wet but his jaw set. He goes to GH to find Portia, hoping for a face-to-face conversation, but she refuses to see him. Epiphany's absence is felt deeply in this moment. The kind of wisdom and grounding she once brought is exactly what both of them need. Jordan tries to mediate, urging Portia to at least hear Curtis out. But Portia accuses Jordan of having her own bias, and not without reason. Jordan, visibly uncomfortable, defends Curtis, but admits there are things from their shared past that could be twisted out of context. Jordan's cryptic comment, "If Isaiah knows what I think he knows, this isn't just about you and Portia. This is about a case that could blow the Peace PD wide open," sets up a whole new layer to the story. In a late-night scene at the Savoy, Isaiah meets with an unknown associate, revealed in the final seconds to be Selena Wu. She's been pulling Isaiah's strings from the start, using the adultery accusation to destabilize Curtis and gain leverage over the club. Selena purrs. Once Portia's out of the picture, Curtis will be desperate. And desperation is the easiest thing to own. Soap fans know the beats. Portia will eventually learn Isaiah's claims were a smokescreen. But the heartbreak comes in wondering if she'll discover the truth too late to save her marriage. Will Curtis sign the divorce papers out of pride? Will Selena sink her claws deeper into the Savoy? And where does Trina fit into Isaiah's long-term plan? Trina. Her investigation into Isaiah could lead to dangerous run-ins with Selena's enforcers and possibly rekindle tension with Spencer over how far she's willing to go. Jordan might be forced to choose between protecting a case from years ago and clearing Curtis's name. Taggart, his protective instincts toward Portia could put him directly in Curtis's path, reigniting old rivalries. Selena Wu strengthens her hold on Port Charles nightlife, but risks overplaying her hand if Sonny gets wind of her tactics. This is not just a simple cheating scandal, it's a multi-layered plot involving past cases, organized crime, and emotional landmines that will reverberate across Port Charles. Curtis and Portia's divorce may just be the tip of the iceberg, with Isaiah's arrival marking the start of a long, dark arc for multiple characters. Fans should brace for weeks, possibly months, of heated confrontations, whispered threats, and those signature GH cliffhangers that make it impossible to look away.